Alright, look. Hit the like button. Hit the sub button. Hit the notification bell. You understand me? Subscribe to my channel. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram. Join this Fisk Unit army and get Fisk Unit tough. Alright, look. Shout out to Darren Waller, man. Shout out to him. I really want to talk about Kayvon in this video, but let me get Darren Waller out the way. So, Darren Waller is going to play this weekend versus the Saints right on time because at the end of the day, we going for the playoffs. I'm not predicting we going to make the playoffs. I'd be foolish. We still got to play the Eagles and the Rams. It is what it is. But we going to try. And I support my team trying to do that. Listen, I wanted to tank. I did. But I'm cool with Tommy. I'm cool with my man Tommy Two Guns putting in work. The whole purpose of tanking was to get a quarterback. Well, guess what? If this dude's good enough to win enough games to knock us out of the top 10 to get a quarterback, we might have found our quarterback. You feel me? Listen, I've done a lot of Tommy DeVito videos this week. And guess what? I'm going to do another one tomorrow. But I really want to speak on Darren Waller coming back. Because now we got all our weapons. Now we got Darren Waller. We got Saquon. We got Hyatt. Wandale. Everybody's here. All right. And then last week, old dude from Indianapolis, Paris Campbell, he was a healthy scratch. Which is, we knew that was going to happen. Like, we all knew that was going to happen. We got Wandale as our slot guy. You know what I'm saying? That's our slot guy. So eventually, our second round pick was going to take Paris Campbell's spot. And Paris Campbell stunk anyway. Now, granted, I'm not even going to throw a shot at Daniel Jones like that. But, you know, let's just say the offense was historically pathetic to open the season. So, you know, he had to suffer for that. So by the time Wandale gets healthy, he starts to get acclimated a little bit. We're on our third string quarterback. And it is what it is. So now we get a chance to see what Darren Waller can do in this offense. We've been getting Saquon cooking the past couple weeks. Jalen Hyatt's had a couple big games. I've just been speaking about Wandale. Slayton ain't been dropping as many balls as normal. So it's like, now you throwing Darren Waller right in time for the Eagles next week. Right in time for the Eagles next week. We need all hands on deck versus Philly. So Darren Waller, one of the best tight ends in football. You know what they say about a young quarterback. A tight end is his best friend. Let's see what kind of numbers Tommy Two Guns puts up with a healthy Darren Waller, healthy Saquon Barkley, and 4 starts under his belt. I'm real interested to see, man. So shout out to Darren Waller. Let's see what he could cook up this weekend versus the Saints. Now on to the headhunter, the conqueror himself, Kayvon Thibodeaux. My favorite player on the Giants, man. What can I say, man? This dude is going to finish with like 17 sacks on the year, man. And the thing with Kayvon is we need his energy. And that's another thing I like about Tommy DeVito. Like, he matches Kayvon's energy. Like, you got a guy like Kayvon. You get a guy like Tommy DeVito. It gives the Giants a swagger. Like Kayvon, like, remember, was it Washington? When he walked up to the offensive tackle and said thank you, and then proceeded to get like 2 more sacks or something like that in the second half. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Tommy DeVito got his own touchdown celebration and a mobster for an agent. That's what I'm talking about. Kayvon Thibodeaux talking spicy and backing it up. That's what I'm talking about. Deontay Banks letting Washington know how he really feels on IG Live after the game. That's what I'm talking about. Dexter Lawrence being mad and refusing to speak to the media after the Raider loss because he was embarrassed. That's what I'm talking about. You smell me? So it's like, I like the energy. I like the vibe around the Giants right now. This guy, Kayvon Thibodeaux, it should be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year. He sacks the quarterback. He shuts down his side of the field when it comes to running the football. And quite frankly, Ojulari's been Casper the Friendly Ghost 90% of the season. Kayvon's doing this by himself. When you line up against the Giants, he's the only guy you got to block on the edge. He's the only one. You got Dexter in the middle, Kayvon on the edge. That's it. You ain't got to worry about nobody else. Isaiah Simmons isn't really been rushing the passer. So Jihad Ward isn't, he ain't no superstar. But so at the end of the day, you got to look at the Kayvon situation and say he's holding the defense down. If Kayvon wasn't playing as well as he's playing, Deonte Banks wouldn't be playing as well. Deonte Banks should be in a running for Defensive Rookie of the Year. This kid has been lights out damn near all season. He's been our number one corner all year. How often do we get mad at this kid? Coming from training camp where he was getting cooked like a Gordon Ramsay video every freaking day. Remember when I told y'all calm down? Remember when I said relax on Deonte Banks? He's supposed to get cooked by the most expensive tight end in football. Remember I said that? Now look at him. You know what I'm saying? Swords are forged through fire. You feel me? Like, you gotta, come on, man. You gotta apply pressure to make diamonds. So him getting cooked in t-shirt and shorts, it helped him. Now, when them boys put the pads on, he been lights out ever since. But, it was just such an overreaction to Deonte Banks during the OTAs early in training camp. He's been our best corner. And that's saying a lot considering how much we're paying Adoree. Kayvon Thibodeaux, the leader of our defense, he brings that swagger. He brings that confidence, and he backs it up. Tommy DeVito, believe it or not, he backs it up. He backs up that swagger, that confidence. You got to have a swagger when you're playing football. You got to have a swagger when you're playing Call of Duty, when you're playing 2K, when you're playing Madden. You got to have a swagger in life when you approach a girl, when you go to a job interview. All swagger is confidence. You have to have a level of arrogance, a level of confidence in you in order to inspire people, in order to win people over, in order to play better, you have to feel better. In order to feel better, you got to have confidence. So I'm really impressed with the numbers Kayvon is putting up. I'm impressed with how he shuts down the run. I'm overall impressed by the fact that at the end of the day, don't tell nobody, but I mean, how many players in the NFC? I'm gonna say NFC because at least in the AFC, you got my man out there in Pittsburgh, whose name is escaping me right now. But dare I say, Kayvon Thibodeaux is having a better season than Micah Parsons? I mean, am I allowed to say that? With his 11 and a half sacks right now, am I allowed to say that he's having a better season than Micah Parsons? Can I say that? So, I mean, when you really look at the situation, I really just feel like outside of Evan Neal, shout out to Joe Shane, man. Shout out to Joe Shane. Outside of Evan Neal, shout out to Joe Shane. Outside of Evan Neal, shout out to Joe Shane. So when you look at the end, okay, there we go. All right, it took a while for my phone to load up, but I was looking for the sack leaders. So yeah, that's what I said. Outside of the AFC, when you look at the NFC, Kayvon is basically right there. So Khalil Mack, AFC. TJ Watt, AFC. Crosby, AFC. Josh Allen, AFC. Henderson, AFC. You got to get all the way to Daniel Hunter and Micah Parsons and Kayvon. Those are the NFC guys. So Kayvon has 11 and a half sacks. Micah has 12 and a half. Daniel Hunter has 13 and a half. Is it out of the realm of possibility that Kayvon passes those dudes? He might be able to lead the NFC in sacks. He really might be able to lead the NFC in sacks. Because I was waiting for my phone to load up. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get this stat. But yeah, I was like, how many dudes can you mention in the NFC before you get to Kayvon? I just wanted to make sure I had the numbers in front of me because I didn't want to curse none of y'all out in my comment section. Oh no, Fisk, you messed up. You forgot to mention it. Shut the fuck up. But look, the Fisk unit question of the day. All right, the Fisk unit question of the day. Has Joe Shane done enough for you to trust him? What I mean is we have the draft coming up, and I don't know what we're going to pick. I don't know if Tommy DeVito, if the clock is going to strike 12 or not, but do y'all trust Joe Shane this offseason to do the right thing? The only bust he's had thus far has been Evan Neal. So the Fisk unit question of the day is, are you trusting Joe Shane right now? Jalen Hyatt looked good. JMS looked good. Deontay looked good. Kayvon looking good. Trey Hawkins, not too shabby. The Fisk unit question of the day is, do you trust Joe Shane this offseason to plug in the holes? That's the question. But anyway, throw those FUs in the chat if you're rocking with me. My name is Fisk Vegas, and I approve this message.